The Arch Canyon OHV Trail leads to 3 natural arches in the Bears Ears National Monument. We parked our trailer at the beginning of the trail and rode the entire route out and back. This video will show you the entire route as seen from my 4-wheeler. And the scenery is spectacular, and I hope that seeing the actual trail will help you determine whether it's for you. I travel the entire trail and then speed up the video on the route back, so you can skip to that part of the video if you want a shorter version. The Arch Canyon OHV Trail stretches 17.5 miles round trip through a dramatic box canyon. It's in the Bears Ears National Monument. We rode this trail as a group that included a 4-wheeler, that's me, a dirt bike, and a Jeep. We also passed numerous others on the trail, including some in a Nissan Pathfinder, and others in side-by-sides and 4-wheelers. You'll see them in the video. The Arch Canyon Trail is within the red sandstone heart of Bears Ears National Monument. The trail goes through a stunning canyon, which literally follows in the footsteps of the ancestral Puebloan people who call this place home over 800 years ago. The motorized portion of the trail extends about 8 miles one way. It follows Arch Canyon Creek all the way to the junction with Texas Canyon, which is near the Manti-La Sal National Forest boundary. There's a turnaround area with a picnic table that marks the end of OHV access. But if you're up for some hiking, trails continue deeper into the canyon to reveal even more natural arches. More about that later. Most OHV destinations focus on technical challenges or scenic views. Arch Canyon is different. It offers something truly unique. You get to explore one of the most archaeological rich landscapes in the American Southwest, and you don't need extensive hiking to see it. The Arch Canyon OHV Trail presents a moderate challenge that's suitable for most OHV riders, though I have to warn you that conditions can vary dramatically based on the weather. The route follows the canyon bottom alongside a perennial stream, which creates one of the trail's most defining characteristics: lots of water crossings throughout your journey. Here's what you need to know about those water crossings. The trail crosses Arch Canyon Creek in what locals describe as countless times over its 8-mile motorized length. You can count them in the video, and there are a lot. And sometimes the creek literally becomes the trail itself, so you'll be driving directly through flowing water for short sections. The number and depth of crossings can vary significantly depending on seasonal conditions. During dry periods, you might encounter just a few shallow crossings or isolated pools that won't give you much trouble. That's what it looks like today. We rode this trail over Memorial Day weekend at the end of May, and the trail was mostly dry. However, during spring snowmelt or after heavy rains, you could face multiple crossings up to 3 feet deep that may be muddy or fast-flowing. In severe weather conditions, some crossings may even become impassable, and they'll actually close the trail. Because conditions can change rapidly, it's really important to check current weather and trail status before you head out. The Bureau of Land Management, or BLM, may close the trail during extreme conditions to protect both visitors and the fragile desert ecosystem. Beyond those water crossings, OHV drivers will encounter uneven creek beds with rocks and areas with soft sand. The canyon features narrow sections where long wheelbase vehicles may struggle to navigate without scraping against rock walls. My four-wheeler had no problems, but our friends who drove a Jeep found some of the sections to be really narrow. There are moderate inclines and declines throughout the route, and these will test both your approach and departure angles. Overhanging vegetation creates that inevitable pinstriping that comes with backcountry exploration. I strongly recommend using a high-clearance four-wheel drive vehicle for this trail. While the route remains open to full-size 4x4 vehicles, side-by-sides, ATVs, and dirt bikes, vehicles larger than half-ton trucks may encounter difficulties in the tighter sections of the canyon. What truly sets Arch Canyon apart is its remarkable concentration of ancestral Puebloan archaeological sites. We didn't get to visit any during our trip, but I wish we had come prepared by knowing where they are in the canyon. You may want to do your homework before riding this trail so that you know where to look for these ruins. You'll probably need to download a map to use offline, as we didn't have any cell service here. This canyon was home to hundreds of people who farmed and thrived in this desert environment. They were sustained by the reliable water source that still flows today. And as you travel up the canyon, ancient structures reveal themselves in alcoves high above the canyon floor. Some sites are immediately visible from the trail, while others require binoculars or telephoto lenses to see. So do your homework and figure out where those are before you start the trail so you won't miss out like we did. And after the ancestral Puebloans migrated south in the 1200s during a period of prolonged drought, the canyon continued to serve important purposes for Ute and Navajo communities. They used the area for hunting and seasonal grazing. Today, descendant tribes maintain active spiritual and cultural connections to Bears Ears. Tribal preservation crews work to stabilize and protect the ancient structures that their ancestors built centuries ago. The canyon's geological features are just as impressive as all those ancient ruins. You've got 3 natural arches that formed over thousands of years through erosion of Entrada sandstone. These incredible formations actually give the canyon its name and make for some pretty spectacular destinations to explore. Cathedral Arch is the most accessible of the 3 arch formations. You can see it from the end of the OHV Trail near the turnaround point where the motorized route ends. You don't even have to leave your vehicle to see it. Just look to the right at the end of the trail. And this massive arch stretches 70 feet across. It's framed by towering 600-foot red rock cliffs that resemble the stone columns of a great cathedral. And the dramatic setting that inspired its name creates one of the most photographed locations in the entire Bears Ears region. To see the other 2 arches, you're going to need to hike to them. I started a hike to look for these arches, but quickly got off trail as I didn't have a map. So don't be me. I turned around before I got lost further, so I never got to see the other 2 arches. But the first, Angel Arch, is a short quarter-mile hike from the turnaround area. Though smaller than Cathedral Arch, this formation is supposedly still impressive. I didn't see it, so I can't say. And then the second arch is Keystone Arch. It's the most remote and challenging of the 3 formations to reach. You'll need to hike about 2 miles beyond the OHV Trail's end. And Keystone Arch is shaped like a natural keyhole carved through a fin of rock. It's the smallest, but most distinctly formed of the 3 arches. These natural formations aren't marked with signs. You can hike to the first arch, but to find the other 2, you're probably going to need a map or some kind of app that'll help you find them. We met some locals when we were parked at the trail end, and they didn't even know there were 2 other arches. They thought there was just one. So they lived there all their lives, and they thought there was only 1 arch. But there are 3, so go look for them and take pictures and tell us how great they were. So when's the best time to go? Spring and fall are probably your best bets for exploring Arch Canyon. Each season has its own personality and challenges. So spring is pretty awesome. You'll see blooming wildflowers and enjoy moderate temperatures. But heads up, you might deal with high water levels from snowmelt up in the mountains. And things were starting to bloom when we were there in May, like this yellow cactus flower. Summer's great if you don't mind the heat. The warm weather actually makes those water crossings a little more fun. Just make sure you start early in the morning. Trust me, you don't want to be out there in the scorching afternoon heat. It's not just uncomfortable, it can be really dangerous. Fall is fantastic for riding. You'll get spectacular changing colors in the upper canyon. Just keep in mind that weather can get pretty unpredictable as winter starts rolling in. In winter, forget about it. Snow piles up in higher elevations and ice can form in the water crossings. The trail becomes pretty much inaccessible during the coldest months. As of May 2025, when we visited, no permits were required for day use of the Arch Canyon OHV Trail. Visitors didn't have to pay entrance fees to access this remarkable landscape. However, according to their website, the Bureau of Land Management plans to implement a free permit system beginning in 2025. So check current requirements before your visit. And the Arch Canyon OHV Trail is pretty easy to get to. It's an out-and-back route that begins about 14 miles west of Blanding on Highway 95. You'll turn north onto Comb Wash Road, which is County Road 229, and travel 2.3 miles to reach a large staging area with plenty of parking for your vehicles and trailers. There are several dispersed camping locations as you drive into the canyon's parking area on County Road 229. We saw several people in established campsites, so that's something you could do if you're interested. So this is the point of the video where we've ended the trail, and I'm going to turn around and go back where we came from, but I'm going to put it at a 3 times speed so you can watch it quickly. I hope you enjoyed this video and all the amazing scenery. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Thanks for watching.